All right. Ani, good morning, everyone. I'd like to welcome our Chief and Council, our band administration, Ignanamag staff, our board members, and band administration to our announcement today. I'd also like to acknowledge our viewers online who connect with our community, and to our guest, Mark Saray, Member of Parliament for Nickel Belt, and his delegation. Welcome to the Wampum Unceded Territory. Today is an innovative and creative day for our community. Our staff at Ignanamag is always striving for excellence for our membership today, and MP Mark Saray is here for a special announcement. It's an exciting announcement on behalf of the Honorable Deb Baines, Minister of Innovation, Science and Economic Development. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mark Saray, MP.
Thank you for the introduction. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming here this morning. It's great to be back on the island, and it's great to be part of an organization, part of our First Nations, that you should be proud of the work you've done. You should be proud of leading in many areas. And when we look at the announcement today, when we look at technology, when we look at connectivity and what is needed, you are an example of what First Nations community are doing right now and what can be done for other First Nations. So I'm really proud to be here today. First, I acknowledge Chief being here and all the council members and the community that came for this announcement. I've had an opportunity before the chat with Anne-Marie and some of the staff at First Tel, and we'd like just to kind of a side component here. When we look at what you're doing with streaming, and I had the opportunity too with you're going to be streaming the Little NHL, which is fantastic. So that's kind of that engaging and getting to people's homes, and part of this announcement today is looking at that connectivity to get to homes. And when you get to homes and the connectivity, then you get to the world and you participate and we learn and we grow. And the internet has been a vehicle that some communities have access and others haven't. And I've said this in many different, since I've been MP in Nickel Belt for about a year now, that we have small municipalities all across Northern Ontario. We have First Nations communities all around Northern Ontario, all across Canada. And if we don't have connectivity, if we don't have high-speed internet, a lot of these municipalities will not survive. And the importance of getting that connectivity is crucial for, in my opinion, and I've heard many, for First Nations and small communities all across Canada. So I'm really happy to be here today when we look at the project that we have here for connecting homes, for connecting households here in Wiki. It is a very important step. And for me, the announcement that we're making today has only been possible by the work you've done. It's a proposal, it's a piece of paper that has numbers on it, but what the proposal is, it's done by you for the community. And you should be all commended for the work you've done to put this proposal together. And as we've talked about, we're going to look at expanding that proposal. We're going to look at adding that proposal to expand some of the households here in Wiki and possibly neighboring communities. And that's very important when we look at the leadership that you could play all around Canada and on the island, and also all around Northern Ontario, to look at, when we look at First Tel, when we look at KNet, and we look at even engaging the private sector, which you did with WireIE. I had the opportunity in the past to work for AM Telecom, Persona, and Eastlink, and I know how important this is to you, and I'm proud to be part of a government that wants to look at that connectivity, and this is an example. So today, I'm really happy to announce, on behalf, as we indicated before, Nadine Baines, our Minister of Innovation, Science and Economic Development, a federal investment of $104,000 to Wiki to expand the services to homes. So this is a great opportunity to do this. As I said, we want to do more in the community for the years to come. So the Connecting Canadians program that was announced a while back and provides households with connectivity. The next step of the program is calling Connecting Communities. So we're going to be looking at and working with you to look at, as we indicated, some of the deadline is approaching in April, but we're going to make sure that we look at expanding. But today what we're talking about is with the First Nations here in Wiki, looking at connecting the homes and making sure that the homes are connected to the internet and expanding that aspect. So I'm proud to be here today, only because of the work that you've done in the community, only of the proposals and the dynamic aspect that you have here with the internet. So your efforts, when we look at First Nations communities, I know that we've, as a Crown, as a government, as Canadians, we failed in the past decades a lot to you. We owe you a lot, and there's a lot of work that needs to happen. But in my opinion, and a lot of the conversations I've had also with Senator St. Clair and in Ottawa, is a lot of this communication and dialogue and new relationship. But education is key. And what can we do to improve the education, and the internet obviously will play a role in doing that. So thank you so much for greeting me today. I don't want to spend a lot of time here chatting at the podium here. We'll continue the conversations one-on-one with the community. But thank you so much for allowing me to visit your community, and also to look at how can we focus on success stories like yours, that we could expand and improve the lives for every Canadian and every person living on First Nations. And as chair of the Northern Ontario Caucus, it's very important. As also member of the Indigenous Caucus in Ottawa. I'm a member of the Algonquin First Nations in Mattawa, North Bay. It's really a sense of pride that I have to be able to support and do what I can to help you, but you are already on the right track with the proposals and the work that you're doing here in the community. So thank you so much, and we'll look forward to more conversations and more proposals and more creative ideas that you have here, right here in Wiki. Thank you so much.
Miigwech MP Saray for that wonderful announcement. Our community and band members are excited and look forward to connecting with the technology in the near future. And at this time, I'd like to welcome a leader who is dedicated and committed to improving and enhancing our community. At one time was also president of Ignautamagedjik, our Ogima Duke Pilchai.
Miigwech, bonjour. Gima Duke Pelchi, any additional costs, Gima the Dom, Iwiquemco. Apogani, Chinendum, even not the Magwing, Joniawi, Jibdek Mapi, we just doing, how we doing, Kinongoja. I'm very thankful and welcoming the Honourable Mark Serre, MP for Nickelbelt, and bringing forward this investment from the Connecting Canadians program to Firstel and our community for broadband infrastructure in order for all of our members and our businesses to access technology for the purposes of increasing the quality of our life, but to support our business ventures also. I think today's day and age, technology and access to the internet is very important to the changing economic climate, where an online presence is necessary for communities to engage in the economy that exists globally. So with this announcement and a commitment to expand broadband services, not only here, but it's also been the intention of Firstel since its inception in the mid-2000s, was to capture a global market and a global share for telecommunications and new technologies throughout Canada. not only in our community but throughout. So it's a great pleasure to be here and accepting this investment, and I'm very confident that the staff at First Tel and our partners at Wire.ie and at Magajik will continue to seek out investment in order to support our goals in securing an economic future for our whole community. So with that, I do want to say Kachimi-Wetch on behalf of all of our community members, all of First Tel, the organization, our Economic Development Corporation in Magajik, and most of all from our council in having this support available for us to expand these services that are necessary. So with that, I want to say Kachimi-Wetch.
Ogima. At this time, I'd like to introduce Anne-Marie Sanford from First Tel.
Morning, Bojo, Ani. We're really excited today. First Tel Communications Corporation, your first link in communications, specializing in telecommunications and broadcasting, is pleased to announce that under the new Connecting Canadians Rural Broadband Program, we have now expanded and amalgamated to provide broadband service with the wireless fiber link. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the MP Nickel Belt, Mike Saray, Innovation, Science and Economic Development Canada, Chief and Council of Wikwemikong Unceded Territory, Ogama Duke Pelche, the Board of Directors and Council of Ednon-Magajik Development Commission for their commitment in providing alternative telecommunications internet broadband service to residents in the village of the Wikwemikong Unceded Territory. 4 years ago, a seed was planted with KNET, with Penny Carpenter for the expansion of broadband services in Wikwemikong, with the announcement of the Connecting Canadians program funding. First Tel was able to use a network of partnerships to facilitate the construction of the wireless broadband, and with the help of Brian Walters, Erwin Haska of Wire.ie Holdings International Inc., to allow First Tel to provide an internet service within the community with a target of 200 households. First Tel Communications team included myself, Communications Business Manager, Joseph Corbet, Finance Officer, and Rachel Cooper, Customer Service Representative, and representatives from Wikwemikong Unceded Territory, Wassiaben High School, KNET, Wire.ie International Holdings, Wikwemikong Development Commission. Since its incorporation in 2003, First Tel has been on the leading edge in providing cost-effective alternative telecommunications services throughout Ontario for First Nation communities. With the funding from the Connecting Canadians program, we will facilitate growth and improve the competitiveness of our existing services. We anticipate success in implementing this alternative broadband telecommunications service that will increase the opportunities for wealth, opportunity, and quality of life for the community. Wikwemikong was underserved in terms of access to high-speed internet based on the current technology deployed in Wiki. There are a number of areas within the community that either had no service or very limited bandwidth. The Connecting Canadian funding has provided First Tel Communications the ability to offer an enhanced internet service with minimum speeds of 5 megabits per second to an area which includes the main Wikwemikong community, as well as coverage within the 5 kilometers of the new network. The first phase of the new wireless broadband network incorporates both a new fiber build from the high school to the water tower, which is the main distribution point for the wireless network, as well as the new wireless link to the Cape Smith Tower owned by the community. From these 2 towers, wireless access points will provide high-speed internet to residents, community locations, as businesses within a 5-kilometer radius of the towers. This same infrastructure will be used to provide more reliable connectivity to 2 of the schools and several community locations which currently use unlicensed wireless links. The test subscriber locations deployed are experiencing dramatically higher speeds, bursts in excess of 50 megabytes per second, versus their current low-speed connections. First-Tel is the ISP offering these services to residents, businesses, and other community locations, and will be testing other value-added services prior to launch, which are planned to be offered to customers on the new network. First-Tel's basic service package is 5 megabytes per second, with a premium package offering speeds up to 20 megabytes per second plus. First-Tel partnered with and would like to give a special thank you to the businesses that provided support and equipment, such as Enamagajic, Wikwemikong Development Commission, KNET, Warai Holdings International Inc., Wasiabin High School, Wikwemikong Water Treatment Facility, Wikwemikong Unceded Territory, Eastlink, Hydro One, JJ Pole Lines, Stantec, Greenstick Interactive, Thompson Electric, Annexter, Alliance Corporation, and many others. Again, a very special thank you to everyone who worked very hard to put this exciting project together. Further information can be found at firsttel.ca. Chimigwech.
Miigwech Anne-Marie for that overview, and again, it takes a community and a lot of partnerships outside of the community to make this project a success, so a lot of hard work, and we'd like to acknowledge everybody that has participated. Our community has a great opportunity with this announcement today. The ability to participate and connect with the online industry is very beneficial as we live in a rural area, and having access to broadband internet will help our members be connected not only to Wikwemikong, but as our Gima said, worldwide, globally. So Miigwech MP, Mark Saray, for the announcement today and your delegation. And I'd just like to thank everybody for being here today. Miigwech.
Okay, go quick.